Hi everyone.
Hi everybody.
Today is March
The 12th. Today's the 12th
March
of March.
12th today. It's Monday.
Yep.
We haven't kept up to date with our YouTube channel for a couple of months, so we want to get you caught up with what happened in those couple of months. And
We're going to do it in 2 different videos though. So.
Yeah, because we're on our way back to the East Coast.
Yep.
So the last time we were with you, we were in Quartzsite, Arizona, and we were attending the Escapees Conference. And when we had a great time here.
Time.
Yeah, and we liked it so much that actually that's where we are right now. But we'll get into that later.
Yep.
So after we left Quartzsite, we were headed to LA to see Jen Jarrett and Wiley. And we headed to a town called Acton that is about 50 miles north of LA, north of where Jen and Jarrett live.
We stayed at the Californian RV park, and we have pictures of that.
And as we left here, we're right on the border of Arizona, California. One of the bigger cities that we went through was Palm Springs. And Palm Springs, we saw windmills, many windmills.
It was one of the first windmill farms in the country, I believe. But it has grown tremendously, and there are windmills everywhere. That was amazing to us. But it was an uneventful trip, though. We've had I don't think we've had many bad traveling days, but it's been very good.
And we stayed at a very a nice resort. Actually, it wasn't a resort; it was a campground, but it was actually beautiful and immaculately clean.
It was in the San Bernardino Mountains,
on the side of a hill, and we overlooked the mountains. One of the days we actually went into the Los Angeles forest. And it's not a forest like the Allegheny National Forest because most of it was burnt out.
Yeah, a number of years ago. Although the vegetation is starting to come back, and it's gonna be just fine. But you can tell that a lot of big trees had been burned, and
on our way up through the forest, we had to go uphill, and we didn't have a whole lot of gas in the car. So I was paying attention to the gas, like how many more miles we could go on the gas that we had. And when I looked at the car dashboard, it said that we were getting 86 miles per gallon on the way back down the mountain.
Back down the mountain.
So it became a game to see how many miles per gallon we could get on the car. And I think it was 106 point something, but I have a picture I will attach. And that was fun. We really had a good time doing that.
Just like kick the car into neutral and coast
just
down
let
the
it
hill.
go.
It was pretty cool.
Doesn't take much to amuse the simple, but that was fun. And of course, we spent time with Jen Jarrett and Wilder is just the most beautiful little baby boy, although he's not little anymore.
Yeah.
Just left him yesterday, and he's really growing quite fast as they always do. But we were so blessed to spend a couple of weeks with them, and it was great. And then along about the end of the month, about the 30th of January, we headed toward San Jose because we were expecting little Miss Hannah.
The 1st of February.
The 1st of February,
right.
That's right. And so we left. Oh, I forgot to say, well, we were actually visiting Jen and Jarrett. There was a town called Palmdale that was very near to where we were staying, and there was Edwards Air Force Base. and there was a air park there called the Blackbird Air Park that had all sorts of aircraft built by Lockheed, and the aircraft that LA actually has a space shuttle in a museum, the Discovery, and we had seen that our last trip out.
Mm-hmm.
But at this air park, they had the 747 that actually carried the shuttle to LA
Mm-hmm.
for its last trip.
We have some pictures.
And
of
we
that.
have some pictures of that. That was awesome. And we also, that same day, went on a road that's called the Musical Road. And we'll attach the video, but you have to listen very carefully, and you'll be able to hear the road as we drive on it play I believe it's the Lone Ranger melody. That was fun. We had to do it a couple of times because we really enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah. So then we left about the 30th of January and headed to Pleasanton, California, which was about 40 miles?
Yeah, about 40 miles
north of San Jose,
yeah,
where Michael and Sarah are.
Northeast of San Jose. And we stayed at a fair campground there at the Alameda
County. Mm-hmm.
Alameda County Fairgrounds. They have a campground there. And that took us a good another 45 to 50 minutes to get to Michael's from there.
Yeah. On our way there, though, we did make that a 2-day trip because that's a good 6.5 hour drive by car.
Mm-hmm.
So we did make that a 2-day trip, and we stopped at Bureau of Land Management land, which is free to camp on.
We just stayed there overnight.
And it happened to be the night that there was the super blood lunar eclipse moon.
Yeah.
And we woke up at 4 a.m. and we were able to watch the eclipse from our bedroom. Mm-hmm. In the desert, and that was really very cool.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing about it was that there was no ambient light around, so we didn't have any distractions. We could see the stars were wonderful, and the moon was very bright, and so the lunar eclipse was a great sight to see.
So then little Miss Hannah arrived a week later, and we were fortunate enough to be there just a couple of hours after she was born, and that was absolutely amazing. And were able to spend 5 weeks with Michael and Sarah and Hannah, and we were so blessed to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And when we got to Pleasanton, we didn't really care for the campground, so we started looking for another place to camp, and we decided to go camp in the Redwood Forest, and we debated about it, but we thought we're never going to get the opportunity to do that again, and that was amazing.
It was amazing. We actually, as some of you may know, the winery that Michael and Sarah were married at, Regale, and you had to go up this big windy road to get to it. Well, then we, after the winery, we kept on going up the mountain, and this place called Felton, California, is in the Redwoods, and we stayed in the Santa Cruz RV Resort. Which was just phenomenal. Those trees are just amazing, and it was a real nice little campground.
You were able to take a couple of hikes in the woods down through the trees. It was just really, really a special time. Not only that we were with Michael and Sarah and Hannah, but it was just a really, really awesome place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So that took us up until just about a week ago. And when we left Michael and Sarah and headed back to LA to spend time with Jen and Jarrett one more time, a few days. So we'll leave it off there.
Yep.
We'll attach our pictures and our some short videos and whatnot, and we appreciate your interest in our trip.
Yep.
As we now head back to the East Coast.
Yep. And we've got a little bit of an itinerary schedule, but nothing really dated planned. But we do know what we want to see, and so we'll keep you up to date on those too. Okay.
So thanks for listening.
Thank you very much.
We'll talk to you soon.
Love you all.
Love you all. Good night.
Bye-bye.